Alright, hello everybody, we're back with yet another video. This is another video of the anonymous responses where you submit a concern or struggle that you are going through and it's totally anonymous, and in these videos I try to respond or help out in any way, and hopefully somebody else can get some help from these videos. So yeah, let's just get straight into it with this next one. So they said, "Hello Timmy, love your videos man, keep it up. I have no idea what I'm doing. I feel like there is no direction in my life. I mean, I'm considered by most a high-achieving student. I do well in all my classes, take DE/online classes, president of a club, and part of a varsity sport team, but I honestly just don't feel proud of myself. Everything I do just feels kind of pointless, and I really despise this feeling of emptiness. Everything I do just feels kind of pointless, and I really despise— Wait, I just read that, wow. The only time I really feel anything else is when I'm with someone else, but nowadays everyone is so busy with their own lives. It would be cool if I could just go back to the days where I would just talk with my friends for however long we could stay up and about whatever. I don't really know what I should do. I feel like I could say more, but I don't know. Thank you for reading my response." Well, first off, thank you for submitting that response. That's really nice. And thank you for saying keep it up. That encouragement means a lot. Anyways, just getting straight into it. Being proud of myself is a difficult thing that I myself have never really been able to do, at least not for a sustained amount of time. Of course there are moments that I can maybe think of where I felt like even a little proud of myself, but that's never really lasting. But yeah, it can be really easy to overlook ourselves, especially when it feels like what is any of this worth? I'm doing all this, but what does any of it matter to me? And this is a totally understandable and very relatable feeling, and it feels like you succeed, yet you still feel unfulfilled, right? Everybody tells you, hey, you're doing great, but you yourself feel like it's just not really anything that you want. And I'll get into that in a little bit, but there is a possibility that your lack of self-recognition could be because of some idea that's been instilled in you that either you're not good enough or you don't deserve to feel good, which that isn't to blame anyone who ever did put that belief onto you, nor is it to blame you for believing it. But I do invite you to reframe your thinking to be more constructive rather than destructive. It's easy to take away from ourselves and our accomplishments and say, like, we have some false belief that we're not good enough, and just say like, oh, I'm never going to be good enough, I can't live up to this and this. And but the thing is, when you choose to view these things as adding onto more and more of who you are, then you can see how much you've come to build, like this beautiful life that you've made. You can see it as a constructive thing of you continuously adding on. Even when you fail, you learn from that and you continue expanding on this person that you are building. And it's understandable to feel empty. It's totally normal, and there's no reason to feel guilty for that. Don't allow your mind to feed you some BS that you're some terrible person for not feeling good despite all these good things going for you and going on around you. You are a person the same as everyone else, and there's no reason to disrespect yourself or see yourself as any less than. And it doesn't really matter how much I can tell you that you are worthy, because honestly, you yourself do have to work through your issues and find a lasting fix that works for you. Even if I did have some solution, right, I would be lying to you. I don't really have a solution to your issues. You are going to be the one to figure this out and find what can help you manage these thoughts and feelings about yourself and to feel better about yourself. I believe that you can feel better about yourself. It's a totally achievable thing. And you can think back on people who have all felt this way before, and yet they are still here and they were able to overcome that. And not just like, the thing about it is you're not eradicating it. You're going to live with this, but you're going to be able to manage it and have a new sight, in a way, a new way of perceiving this issue. And who knows, maybe this issue can turn into one of your greatest strengths. Anyways, about feeling empty, I would suggest to reassess your values and what you view success to be. Maybe you've wanted to begin drawing or some other ambition outside of all this amazing stuff you already do. I say just go for it, you know? You may find fulfillment in living this life on your own terms. Maybe it is that all this time you've been doing all these things and accomplishing all these great things, but it hasn't been something that you necessarily want for yourself. And I'm sure that you can say that, yeah, being on the varsity sports team and being the president of a club, that's all been amazing experience that you're so grateful for, but also find something that is just something that you want for yourself and you want to do. Like, just go for it, honestly. And I believe that you can do that. But anyways, about only feeling something when you're around people, maybe you might not particularly like this response, but I will say it anyways because I do feel it is important. And that's to be okay with being with yourself. And I'm not saying to be lonely, and it is extremely important to have friends and a support group that will be there for you, but also try and tend to the relationship of yourself. You know, as I've spoken in other videos before, it's just as important as any other relationship to have an understanding of yourself and to be a friend to yourself. Like, yeah, people do get busy with their lives, and your feelings are totally valid for just wanting to be able to slow down and spend some time together again. You know, that's entirely understandable. But unfortunately, life never seems to slow down, and we've just got to kind of work with that, honestly. It's not really anything we can change much, but true friends, they will make time for you, and they will value the connection that you have. But then again, this time can also be an opportunity for you to become a more whole version of yourself. Maybe that is the true meaning of what this is. You know, if you believe in God or destiny, maybe that's what it is. But anyways, yeah, to like to be a whole version of yourself, you don't want to look for the source of your well-being in others, and you want to instead be able to provide some of that for yourself, or at least the larger portion of it, you know? And I would suggest to not place your own personal value or feelings too heavily into another person. Like, yes, being with friends can be healthy for us, but we must also be healthy as individuals as well. And again, I would say this time of life may be indicating that you should be spending more time with yourself and coming to understand yourself more as a person. And thank you for sharing this, and I wish you the absolute best on your journey. I'm certain that you will discover more about yourself in these times, and you will find your true friends, you know, a circle of people who do want to be there with you and will spend that quality time with you. And you will definitely find a balance in between these two things, and you will find a way to be proud of yourself and to acknowledge your own greatness as an individual. And man, oh man, I've just got to say that I just said all of that in one straight recording. Yep, that's correct. I just checked and it's 8 minutes long. Holy cow. There was not a single, like, cut or anything. I just recorded that straight, which is pretty cool. But I'm gonna conclude this video by saying that I really appreciate you all, and yeah, I know I said that it's not worth much if I say that you're worthy, but I still just wanted to let you know that I am proud of you, okay? And all those things that you said are just amazing things going for you, and you definitely do have a great future, okay? Keep that in mind. You are already forging the path for greater things down the road, and there's no way that you are a disappointment, okay? Like, just aside from any other outside judgment, just be able to look at yourself objectively, and you understand yourself better than anyone else could possibly say or know. You know, despite all these people saying that you should be doing better or you should be doing this or that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they're saying, okay? You are ultimately the one who can sort of cast judgment. I dislike that phrase, but you are the one who really knows you as a person, and you know how much it has taken to get to this position, and you know the struggle of managing all of this, and yet you still do it. That is just amazing. You're honestly magnificent, and again, I wish you the best. Have a beautiful day, everybody. That Google form will always be there. It's totally anonymous. I invite you to share your thoughts and feelings. Have a beautiful day, and I appreciate you all greatly. Thank you.